Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are finally live here for Cone. We've been live for quite a long time, and we've been waiting for the lobby to start as well, as the first lobby was very bright indeed. Now it's on midnight, as it should be. So, welcome to the season, everybody. Not a great start, but hopefully we can kick things off here at Saudi Arabia with an entertaining, thrilling race, as it always has been in league racing history around here in Cone, especially last season as well, when we had plenty of action and safety cars. And Nathan JB was the man who came out on top. Troy took the victory initially, but the victory went towards Nathan as the penalty was served for Troy. And alongside me is Nexus Bunnies, mate. Glad to have you on board.
Yeah, happy to be here. Should be first full season of Cone commentary for me, so I'm quite excited for that, and especially here in Tier 1, where we get to see the best of the best, you know. Lots of fantastic drivers here that we get to watch now, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, especially with our first round as Saudi Arabia. Always a chaotic race here, so should be entertaining. Hopefully not too many retirements. Unfortunately, back in the Tier 3 race, for example, I was one of the retirements, but hopefully not too many in Tier 1. These drivers are very quick, though, so flying through the streets of Jeddah, it is more likely, in a way, for them to hit a wall, but these drivers are also exceptionally good at keeping it out of the walls, so hopefully they are successfully able to do that.
We've got Pyro then coming towards the penultimate corner back in Season 8, where I think he finished second in the Drivers' Up with already, but he already almost lost it coming out of the final corner in turn 27, so not a great start to his qualifying lap as he makes his way on the long straight then as we head down into turn number 1, braking before the 100-meter board, clipping and riding the curbs in turn 1 and turn 2 until we can get fully flat so far as we bring the cars to the left hand side using all the road there as you can get away with, tapping the wall too for good measure. Turn 4 then, bring it in, back on the power immediately. Now we are heading through the fast complex of the first sector, lovely sequence of corners as we constantly changing direction, flicking it left and right, using the curbs as well to rotate the car, and decent first sector already there for Pyro, so 31.7 there from the Argentinas, who's flicking to turn number 13, the downhill banking then as we get back on the throttle, then edging towards the wall and trying to use every single road you can. And let's see how he does through this right left-hander we go. The first part of it did take a lot of curb into the first part, but second part got a decent exit nevertheless. We get ahead on the DRS zone then on this straight, and let's see what the speeds he'll reach up to as he constantly changes left and right. And George Hargreaves has already retired from his qualifying sessions. That looks like it's in the pit lane, so I'm not quite sure if he... Oh, I don't know what's happened to him. He ain't got a qualifying man, I don't think, hopefully anyways. But as he makes his way now into turn 27, where Max Verstappen back in 2021 outbroke himself, and there's a bit of a lag spike there for Pyro, so hopefully it don't affect him too much as DRS is enabled. Let's see the first lap time on the board, which is going to be a 26.6.
Yeah, a good lap time there from Pyro in the Aston Martin. We'll see as the next couple lap times start to roll in. Ariel Pope about 1.5 seconds off the pace, but Sweet Crown already taking an early lead in the qualifying session by just over a tenth. Sweet Crown, a 126.553. That is a pretty solid lap. We'll see if Pyro can improve to beat him, or if anyone else can come across the line to beat him. Nathan already does a 26.440. Very good lap time from him. I would imagine we'll see improvements throughout the entire session as Joel Bream coming across the line with a 27.2. So a little bit of a gap between the AlphaTauri and the rest of the grid, but I'm sure those two will be improving on their lap times soon enough. As, yeah, it's an early lead in the qualifying session for Nathan JB.
Yeah, Nathan likes this track. I think he had a first lap incident, I think it was 2 seasons ago, where he made contact. I think somebody hit each other, they went off the road and they came on the track unsafely, and unfortunately Nathan couldn't avoid it. So and in that same race he finished in P1 too, so it's a great recovery drive indeed from the Brit. His brother goes into P4, and welcome back AJ into Tier 1, and we haven't seen him for 2 seasons now I think, so it's nice to be back in Tier 1 for AJ Wuhan, and let's see what he can do. And rotation goes quickest then with a 26.3, tends to be good around this track. If I remember correctly, rotation and Jeroen Visser in the first part of the race in Jeddah 2 seasons ago were very quick indeed, so I won't be surprised to see rotation up there in the Red Bull with decent pace, because they both pulled away until that safety car came out at the wrong time for them, and therefore they had to fight through the field. So looking good for rotation so far on pole, separated by a few hundreds ahead of Nathan. The Red Bull so far looking good. I think that's a good driving lineup with rotation and Sweet Cloud. They're both very quick drivers on their days, but rotation side sometimes mistakes can be made, and he will need to improve that for the season, because Red Bull, I think, one of the strongest lineups we've seen so far here in Cone, as well as Pease, I think, and Taupe and Ferg. Ferg, former Tier 1 champion, is back too, so hopefully be here for the full season. He's currently in P4 with a 26.6 and a few thousands quicker than AJ Wuhan, and in the same season P's finished in first, and I think AJ was third in the championship, or second, because it was either of the two brothers that finished in P2 and P3, so they've had some close fights in the past, and hopefully we'll see a repeat of that tonight in history here in Cone.
Yeah, so as you're saying, many excellent drivers on this grid. Some who've run well at Jeddah in particular. Nathan, for example, rotation, and I believe Sweet Crown was the other one you said, having all done pretty well here, or at least been quite quick. And others who are just straight up good as a whole. I mean, this entire grid is really just such an impressive one, honestly. I'd say even whoever ends up last in the championship would, certainly against me, for example, in a battle, would annihilate me in any given race. All of these drivers are just such a high quality that even the ones who are lower down in the running order are still so unbelievably quick. So it'll be really interesting here to see how some of them do. You know, it's Sausage Joe, for example, I'm watching on his lap into the DRS in Sector 2. We'll see how he's doing when he enters Sector 3. It's a 59.871 through the first 2 sectors. We'll see how that translates when he comes across the line to finish his lap. Chaza about to finish his own lap. We'll see where he is. He sets a 127 flat, so that's P9 for him. 27.099, and back to Sausage Joe. We'll see how he can do as he's coming up to the line. It's going to be a 27.209, so solid laps for the two of them that we've just watched across the line. And I have to ask, do you have any predictions for pole position today?
It could be anyone really. They've all got such mighty pace and all high caliber drivers, like you said. But I think on my money, it's either rotation or Sweet Crown, I dare say. Ferg's not too far away, P4 as well, but actually rotation's got a decent gap over the rest of them too. So it could be anyone's game here to take pole position around here of the streets of Jeddah. If you can hook it up, this is such a thrilling, fascinating track to race around, and if you can get it hooked up, he's going to have a time of your life. But if you can't, you're going to be struggling, especially the Tier 3 boys, as Stevan was really struggling on the rear brakes there. As we've got Pyro in that first sector, then let's see how he takes it then. Down into 5th, and Buck up at 6th immediately on the throttle, then leaning against the curbs on the outside of turn 12. Now headed through turn 13. His first sector, 1/10 down already in that first sector, having a few issues with internet connection so far. I think he's almost spun coming out of turn 13, just lost the back end of the car and sadly had to abort it, and he will not be completing that flying lap then, so he'll be heading off into the pit lane, maybe recharging the battery too and saving the tyres ready for the next run indeed. So he's currently on the back foot so far. Who else is out there on a flying lap? We've got a few drivers who haven't set a flying lap, including Leroy, who's just joined the session, so nice to have him in the session. He was supposed to be commentating a few days ago, but unfortunately he fell ill, and now he's back racing, so hopefully he does well tonight, because Leroy is another driver to keep an eye on. Oh, Tobe on the curb at the exit of turn 12, like Carlos Sainz, I think, back in 2021, but thankfully saved the car. That was a very scary moment indeed. Remember Mick Schumacher's crash in 2022 and qualified where he went to the curb and lost the back end. So Taupe loses the back end once again. The rear looks unstable, so he could be very careful when he applies the throttle because that car looks unstable. And Sweet Crown currently on a flying lap with Nathan too. Nathan JB and Sweet Crown. And let's see who else out there too. Sweet Crown a few hundreds up in the first sector. I think Nathan is about to come towards the end of that first sector, so let's see what he could do heading through turn 12. A fascinating corner to get right in. He carried a lot of speed, and he's currently 1/10 up, 1.5 tenths up, and it's the first sector already, so that is a good first sector to be having, especially early doors on the lap as well. On board back on Sweet Crown. Let's see what he can do. A few hundreds up in this middle sector there, carrying a lot of speed through turn 20 and turn 22. 21 and 22, I believe that was. I think I got it mixed up. I remember Mick Schumacher crashing there back in 2021 when it caused a safety car. And here we are, the Red Bull makes his way down into the final corner. And I don't think this will be enough to take pole unless he can find more time in this last sector. So let's see if he's found any more time in hand as he makes his way towards the line. A 26.3, which he has. And he beats rotation by about 400s.
Yep, and Nathan up by just under a tenth through the second sector, so we'll see how he does coming across the line in just a moment. Through turn 27 at the moment, good traction out of there, pulling way off to the left. He's going to come up to the line right next to the wall, and he improves, but only barely, by about half a tenth of a second. So he stays P3, a better lap time, but no position improvement.
Incredible. The top three with a 26.3, despite this track being 6 kilometers long. And it's just incredible how close these guys can all get with each other around a track like this, which is so difficult. And you can be on it 100%, carrying the speed through the corners, hitting the braking zones at the right time, flicking the car in at difficult corners, especially on board with PSA coming through this right left-handed. It's very easy to hit the wall on the inside and raise curbs on the exit too, which could easily send your car into a spin. On board with Pisa having the DRS on the back of the McLaren driver, who's currently on its outlap, so he gets a decent tow. Pease hasn't set a lap time just yet. Bompier goes P4, so it's a Red Bull 1-2 and a Williams 3-4 then. So good lap time for Bompier. Used to be the Ferrari alongside Walter, as Walter's in a different team as Sweet Crown, sorry, the Red Bull. So I get confused here because I'm saying old teams and forgetting what they are in right now. And Pease is making his way towards turn 27. A decent exit for him. What can he do? Can he join the pair in front as he's about to make his way towards the line now at 26.6, and he goes P6 ahead of his teammate Ferg. This is basically ILT versus Relentless with a few CPIs in there, and NLR Resified too. So a bit of a esports battle going on in this tier.
Yeah, and interesting you should mention that. Lots of different esports teams battling it out in different leagues, but not an esports organized league in this context. We're just, just drivers into teams, no esports teams taken into account. So, but coincidentally, Pease and Ferg, both Relentless drivers, I believe, and in the Alpine together. As Pease actually losing the rear end out of turn 13, spins round. Hopefully he'll be out of the way by the time AJ Wuhan gets there. It looks like he is going the right way now. We'll see, speaking of AJ Wuhan, let's see how he's managing through Sector 2 here, through turns, 16 and 17, I believe. Managing quite nicely down the long, twisty, quote-unquote, straight. Into the DRS section. Let's see how he is through the end of Sector 2. He's not on a great lap time, it seems. So, well, I should have noticed, actually. He doesn't look like he's actually pushing based on his ERS. I apologize for making that mistake. But I also feel it is worth pointing out that Nathan, coming off the back of a win at the end of the last season, in São Paulo, I believe it is actually pronounced, Brazil. So good for him, and he's staying actually in the Williams for this season. He's managed to stick in the same car, but we'll see how maybe if that'll be giving him some momentum mentally going into this round, knowing that he's coming off the back of a win.
Definitely got the pace, has Nathan JB, but interestingly, one driver out there is on the medium compound tyres. Only 3 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. Pyro's up into P4, great job, I didn't even see that. That's 26.4 for him in the Aston Martin. He's currently out there on a slow lap, I believe, on an in lap. Will he make it back in the pit lane, I presume? He likes to go out there early. We've all seen it in the past when he used to be in the Alpha tyre, but Tope there on the mediums then. So what's his strategy called? He's got to pit this lap if he wants to do a proper flying lap on a soft compound tyres, but we'll see what he does then. Will he complete this lap or will he dive off into the pit lane? Yeah, he dives off into the pit lane, so hopefully he can get a soft run. And IRT Leroy finally joins the track, so he's been in the pit lane majority this time. There he is in the Alfa Romeo Sauber, and let's see, with 1 lap time only, this could be a big challenge for Leroy. Does he know the track conditions? Has he put much practice into this track? He joined very late indeed, so has he got the consistency, momentum and rhythm to try and drive around the 6-kilometer track without making any mistakes, carrying the speed he needs through the corners as well, especially down at turn 13 here. Turn 16 and 17 can be very difficult too if you don't get it right. Hits the wall on the inside of 16 and on the outside of 17, so you can be very careful about those corners. But we've got a majority of drivers in this last part of qualifying ready to come out, and let's see who can take pole position away from Sweet Crown. Will it be rotation? Will it be Nathan, or can anybody else spoil the party? This is going to be a great qualifier towards the end. It's nice to see Sweet Crown take a part in qualifying. It's the first time he's done that since quite a long time last season. I'm only kidding, Walter, but anyway, Sweet Crown out there in P1 provisionally, only by a few hundreds ahead of rotation and Nathan, so all to play for. A few hundreds could put Nathan into pole position, so you've got to hook it up in this final lap. IRT Leroy then make his way towards turn 27.
Yeah. So, rotation, coming out of turn 27 now, just starting his lap, and let's see how this goes. He is braking hard into turn 1, just clipping that sausage curb even a little bit, across the curb on the inside of turn 2 as well, and he's out of the corner now quite cleanly. Up to turn 4 here, an easy corner to make a mistake on, but he manages quite nicely, and now it should be nearly flat out for the next few corners, as a little bit of a lift through turn 9, I believe, and now out of sector 1. Let's see, is he up on his time? He's not, but he's only down by 0.03 of a second, so he still has a solid chance at improving through turn 13. The banking helping him get the car rotated there. Through this next chicane here, it's a tough bit here. He clips the wall, he's across the curb, he's off track, and he's invalidated. So that is rotations. That'll be his qualifying over, I would imagine, as I'm not sure how long we have left, as we have a yellow in sector 3, unfortunately, though other drivers starting their lap times now. Yeah, 20 odd seconds left in the session. Nathan on a lap as well. We'll see how he does. Many drivers starting their laps now, only one driver left on their out lap. Nathan through sector 1, let's see how he's doing. He's perfectly even with his lap time, so he's on a good lap so far. We'll see if he can improve a little bit more through turn 13, rotation into the pits, so he is definitely done in qualifying today. Let's see Nathan through the chicane where rotation made the mistake. He manages quite nicely using a little bit of curb on the inside. Now he's coming up to the DRS zone. Full blast down this straight. We'll see how he manages finishing sector 2 and through the chicane where we've seen Mick Schumacher spin and passed, up by over a tenth, 1.22 tenths up in the in sector 2. So we'll see through sector 3, coming towards turn 27 now, through 26, now 27, hard braking. Has to avoid making the mistake that Verstappen made in 2021. He manages very nicely, good traction out of there. Sweet Crown getting a 5-place grid penalty, and Nathan coming across the line. It's provisional pole with a 126.238, an exceptional lap from the Williams driver there.
Quite a mess going on at turn 22 and turn 23. Tope is smashed into the back of Sweet Crown, and he's out of the session. There's Pease to the wall, and there's one more driver involved in that too that just went past. He smashed into the wall. That was Jewel Bream. So, a very chaotic end to qualifying indeed. and I'm not quite sure what happened down at turn 22 and turn 23 then, so I'll leave it all for them stewards to discuss. But yeah, a lot of the qualifying session they would have needed, but great lap time from Nathan, then carrying off where he started or ended last season and started it here in season 10, which he needs the most, and he's ahead of Walter by under 100, I think that is. So there it is then. Nathan on pole position for Williams. The rotation couldn't get the lap in. He clipped the wall in turn 16 to 17. Pyro crashed at turn 1, 2. Pease crashed, third crashed at turn 1 and 2. And AJ crashed third one in the lap about turn 4. So there was quite a few crashes in the qualified here, which we don't want to see. So this will definitely get investigated afterwards.
Yeah, and one of the AlphaTauris just spinning right as they were coming up to Sweet Crown. I was not sure what happened there. I was looking at Sweet Crown and a AlphaTauri coming into the screen halfway round already, so lots of chaos all around. But it is Nathan on pole position, and Sweet Crown with a 5-place grid penalty. Rotation third, but Sweet Crown second, and yeah, that was, if you want to run us through the grid order.
Nathan on pole, Sweet Crown in P2, Rotation P3, Pyro 4th, AJ and Bompier P5 and 6, Sausage Joe for Haas in 7th, Reservoir 8th, Peas and Fur P9 and P10, Kenny in P11, didn't see much of him, but he's currently outside the top 10, Seeb, welcome back to Tier 1 in P12, ahead of Posh Evans in that Haas, Chazza P14, Strange in 15th place, our Tier 2 champion has joined Tier 1, Jewelbeam 16th, Taupe 17th, George Hargreaves didn't see qualifying, and LT Leroy down in 19th place. That is a 5-place grid penalty. If there isn't a lobby restart, that should demote him down as P7. So on the back foot, heading onto this race if there is no restart. Which I hope there isn't, because I can't be bothered to waste even more time.
Yeah, already one lobby restart today, so hopefully not another. We'll see. Taking a look at the chat, we'll see. Yeah, I'm not, people saying do not restart, so, yeah, seems like no restart then, given people asking for no restart, and I'm not seeing AJ Wuhan saying we don't plan to, so, yeah, it doesn't seem we will be restarting, so that's, not what Sweet Crown will have wanted, but have to ask now as we wait for the drivers to decide their strategies and other such things. Do you have a favourite for the win?
Could be anyone, especially around here in Jeddah, because the pendulum swung towards different drivers' ways. It could have been anybody's race 2 seasons ago, I think it was. Look, I'm actually quite sure if it was 2 seasons ago. It's been a long season. Yeah, it was last season. No, it was 2 seasons ago, yeah, because Aurelian was involved in the championship in season 8, then he left in season 9 because he has other things to attend to. So it could be anyone's game, really, to get the strategy right, pick the right time. The lights are about to go off for the formation lap, I believe, which it is, but I don't have a favourite for pole win, for win. So what about you, Bunnies?
Well, as he did get pole, and also as a Williams driver in Tier 3, I have to. I've seen Nathan's pace in some Williams chats, and I have to say it's looking really exceptional. So I'd put him maybe as my favorite, but at the same time, rotation's so quick in the qualifying, so he will be a good shout as well. So I'd say probably one of the two of them. Sweet Crown, I would have put maybe in that small list, but with that grid penalty, it'll be a little bit more difficult for him to gain those positions and take the lead, though not impossible. But still, I would put Nathan or Rotation as my favorites, as it's worth also noting the tires different drivers are using. Leroy starting on soft compound tires, most drivers starting on the hards, but Resify, Chazza, Strange, Julbream, Taupe, and George Hargreaves on the mediums. So an interesting split of strategies there, as one driver on the softs and about 6-7 of them, as I forgot to say Ferg also on the mediums, about 7 of the drivers on mediums compared to the rest on hards.
Could see some early safety cars appearing in this race as well. I think we had about 3 safety cars last time out. We raced here at Jeddah. So let's see what happens then in the first opening lap of this race. Nathan, if you I don't know if you remember or not, but 2 seasons ago, involved in that first lap chaos. I don't know who it was. In fact, I think it was Tony and the Romanian driver of Leo, who is not here tonight. So it was Leo and Tony got involved in contact, and Nathan was there as an innocent bystander, lost his wing, but still came back to win the Grand Prix after the help of safety cars and other drivers' misfortunes. Rotation spun at turn 13, along with Lord Raylan 2 seasons ago as well. So that was a very chaotic and memorable race. Bompier was up there, but on older tyres along with Sieb. Sieb was in the Grand Prix fighting with Bompier. Then they got overtaken by drivers on fresher tyres as well. Troyer came through to win the race initially until he had a penalty added on, and Nathan won in the end. So lots of different leaders in that race, and Nathan came out on top of the victory despite losing it. Well, despite getting contact into lap 1. And here we are then for the new season. The lights are about to go out, and we'll see the drivers get underway soon. ILT Leroy, the only driver out there on the soft compound tyre zone, so very important for him to make up ground while he has the freshness, the stickiness of those soft compound tyres. We're just waiting for the lights. Hopefully everything is okay, because we had a driver who left the session, which is Eero Strange. So the lights are being delayed. Hopefully Strange's car won't affect this, and he can get back in the session, or we might have an abandoned start again.
Oh boy. Yeah, I think we're probably going to end up with the lobby restart, if I'm being honest. I will monitor the chats to see if anybody's saying that yet. That is the wrong chat in its entirety. There we go. Good luck, actually, Strange being asked to leave and rejoin, please, but Strange saying can't do anything. So, we'll see how this goes. Comms will invite, so
Hopefully,
that's us.
Hopefully you can.
Yeah, I was just thinking, yeah, that I guess that falls on me. I'll see if I can just...
He's left the session. Can we get racing? Will it allow us to race? Oh, I'm on board with somebody. That's the McLaren I'm on board with. The lobby is sorted itself out, hopefully. Pyro is yet to ready up. Now it's Pyro's turn to get himself sorted. Then we can finally get the first race underway. Oh, we have to restart. That's lovely. So, unfortunately, Pyro's been disqualified, it says. Unfortunately, it is another lobby restart. The first one because of Bompier. Now this one due to connection issues. The game is absolutely brilliant, and Speedcon is appealing his clip. There are the lights then, but I don't think this is the actual race. So we'll just watch this and see if the drivers take each other out. We've got a jump start already, which is AJ. So yeah, definitely lobby restart, and the lights are out, and off we go for a big crash.
Cow. That is the absolute scene. Oh, red flag! Let's go. We got a red flag.
First red flag I've ever witnessed in league racing, but it won't count because, yeah.
Well, that was chaotic. Let's see. Hopefully, the new lobby gets started soon. What do you? Have you had dinner yet?
Yeah, mate. Hours before, so I'm all prepared. But I just want to go to bed soon. So
what did you have for dinner?
With only 5 drivers, then ready to start this second race. It'll be third race soon. Away they go, and I will leave the lobby. So yeah, what did I have for dinner? That's a good question, actually. I had a...
There's still an Alpine stranded in turn 1. One of the retired cars was still sitting at turn 1. But yeah, what did you have for dinner?
Curry and rice, mate. What about you?
Not sure yet. I haven't had dinner yet. It's only 4 p.m. here.
Yeah. You're 5 hours behind me.
Yep. And yeah, not sure what I'll have. Might have some chicken fingers. Might have some pizza. Oh, I might have a wrap. That'd be nice.
Sounds lovely, mate. While this new lobby is getting sorted out, I will go silent to save my voice, and we'll see you all hopefully very soon.
Yeah, I suppose I'll probably go silent as well. Unless I think of any good jokes to tell to entertain.